There is no exception to the law of attraction. There just isn't. There's nothing contrary to the understanding that like attracts like. So, in understanding that like attracts like, there is a vibrational frequency of your desire. And you can achieve this vibrational frequency of your desire. You can achieve it right now, because it doesn't matter how big your desire is or how small your desire is. You can achieve the vibrational essence of it. You can achieve harmony with the feeling of your desire. And another way of saying that is the universe doesn't know the difference between a castle or a button. It's the same energy. It's the same formula. It's the same utilization of the laws, the principles of this time and space, which is the law of attraction. So you want something, and there is a vibrational essence of it. There is a reason why you want it. There is a feeling, and that feeling you can achieve right now. And as you achieve that feeling right now, you're not going to make it come to you right now, because the art of allowing is all about understanding that all you have to do is just shift how you feel right now. You don't even have to go anywhere right now. It's all about that shift in emotion, because when you shift how you feel, you shift in your vibrational offering. And as you shift your vibrational offering, then your point of attraction is now different. And we've been loving this conversation about point of attraction because it's truly the power. It's your power. It's the understanding that you must really grasp as a creator, that you are this walking point of attraction, and you are entering this field of vibrational attraction in every moment. And while you're walking in this field of vibrational attraction, it's so important to understand exactly what this vibrational attraction, what exactly it means. So the best way to understand it is that as you walk in your physical personality that you've been living in for X amount of years, and you have this name for it, well, there really are two personalities. There really are two beings that are meshed always in one. And it's always about, in every person, about how much of their source or how much of them are they really being in that moment. And that's a really interesting way to put it, because when you look at yourself and you don't recognize yourself, it's because you're looking at yourself and you're not seeing the fullness of source represented in it. So that's the thing. It's about understanding that you have these two aspects, and these two aspects are playing off of each other, and that's what your emotions are about. You have these 2 points of relativity, and these 2 points of relativity are about your relationship with you. Those are about that's the thing about your point of attraction, is about understanding that all you have to do, you don't even have to get the world to agree with you. All you have to do is get into alignment with your point of attraction, with your inner being's point of attraction, because you understand all this. You understand all things about the vortex. You get this. You're not walking around, unfulfilled. You understand this unconditional alignment. You understand that I've always been full. I've always been whole. And so I'm not this half full person walking around looking for manifestations to fill me, because you know what? I already have the vibrational essence of so much of what I'm already looking for. So in many ways, I'm already complete, but I still want my manifestations because it's just so fun. It's so fun to think about them. It's so fun to dream. And if you can make the dreaming more about it lighting you up, if you can make the enthusiasm about the dream more important than if the dream actually pans out, when you don't care about the dream panning out, you're just having fun, when it's just about having fun, when it's just about flowing energy and feeling the resonance of flowing energy, and it's not about exactly if it pans out or not into a physical object, basically not taking score, then it has to become the score that you're taking. It has to be that manifestation that everyone can see, because there just is an evolution of thought. It becomes a vibration first. And for you to even have the desire clearly stated in your mind, formable in words, in clear words that anyone can understand, then that means that you're in the vortex. You're in that desire came from the vortex. And now if you spend more of your time in that vortex, because that's where everything is, it's all in that vortex. Because here's the thing. You have these 2 points of relativity, and it's your work. That's what equals your point of attraction. How they're blending, working off one, with each other, is what your point of attraction is always about in every single moment. So when you're feeling negative, or when you're feeling angry, or when you're feeling frustrated, that's you not meshing with you. When you have negative emotion, that means that you've asked for something that you're not allowing yourself to catch up to speed with. Because here's the thing about your inner being, your other point of relativity. You can't see it, but you can feel it. You can feel it. So you know what that means? That means that when you're walking into the office, when you're walking into the party, when you're walking in, when you're hanging out with your friends, it never matters what anyone thinks, because your other point of relativity is never another person. It's always your inner being. So it's always about what you're thinking about what they're saying. It's always about what you think about this, what you think. It's all about your perception, because you're the one who's putting resistance on your path, not your inner being. Your inner being would never throw in a resistance. And you know why your inner being is so interested in you? Because your inner being is riding all of your rockets, because here you are and you're wanting things, and literally these rockets of desires are literally emanating from you, and your inner being has the benefit of wanting everything that you want, except that your inner being doesn't have resistance towards any of them. So that means that every time you want more money, your inner being literally becomes vibrational equivalent of money. Your inner being rides that rock and becomes it. Your inner being doesn't have this physical reality, time and space, where it has to take score and it has to wait for something to be physical to call it real. Your inner being takes that rocket, rides that rocket, rocket and becomes a vibrational expansion. It becomes a expanded version of you. So here you are, and you are more vibrational than you are physical. It just makes so much sense, doesn't it? Because you are more vibrational. And we love talking about your vibrational nature, because when we're talking about your vibrational nature, we're talking about your ability to create. We're talking about how you're the creator of your reality. And the way that you create your reality is through your vibrational emanation. And the coolest thing about your vibrational emanation is that you can literally change it. You can change it. You're not stuck. And the easiest way to change your vibrational emanation is to gradually shift how you feel, because maybe you don't know exactly how things are going to pan out, but you do know how you want to feel. So when it's more about feeling and less about action, when it's more about feeling and less about thoughts, then now you're in that sweet spot of creation. Now then you're really in the vortex. And this vortex business is so interesting, because once you get into the vortex, what do you do then? Because Source is really interested in you. Source has the opportunity to ride all of your rockets, but you're the one who has to tell Source. You're the one who's here to mix it up. You're the one who's paying the price of misalignment. You're the one who's paying the price of negative emotion. You're the one who pays the price of, of separating from your source for that moment to come, to experience that moment of clarity where you know what you don't want, so you know what you do want, and then that rocket is launched from you, and then your inner being is like, okay, I'm more rich. But that's great for your inner being, but it's not great for you unless you're in the vortex, because when you're in the vortex, that means that you're in the perfect place. You're in the receptive mode. The vortex, the better way of saying this, because when we're talking about point of attraction, what we're really talking about is receiving mode. You're always receiving, because your thoughts are not like, it's not a cabinet that you open and it's memories that you sift through. It's a transmitting and receiving mechanism, which means that there is a vibrational realization thing that's always happening, which means that you're literally achieving frequencies. And as you achieve these frequencies, the thoughts lift from the fog and become more and more clear, and then you can have thoughts of fear, and it's you can even blame it on someone else, but you can let someone and their dysfunction, their disconnection be the reason why you disconnect, and then you get into the receiving when you get pulled into their attraction. You get pulled into the receiving mode of fear just with them. But you can be more clear about your vibration. You can understand that this person has nothing to do with this person is not your other point of relativity, only your inner being is. So it doesn't really matter what they think about you, because they're not your point of relativity. Your inner being is. So your inner being, being your point of relativity, is so amazing, because your inner being doesn't offer resistance. Your inner being wants, and when law of attraction is shining its light on your inner being is clear. Your inner being does all of its homework. It has everything complete. It's ready. And as it's ready, that means that there is a strong, really strong ass momentum. And do you know what's so amazing about this incredibly strong ass momentum? It means that it will outlive you, even if you don't get to taste the fullness of that momentum, because you weren't in the receiving mode long enough. Because some of our friends, they have to wait, but not you. You know about the vortex. So once you get to those high flying places, and we're talking about our favorite thing, because there's a lot of bases that to our physical friends we have to cover with, which is you're already whole, and based on your emotions, how much of your wholeness are you allowing? Because there's nothing outside of you that can complete you. There's nothing that you're going towards, because you never get there. You are eternal. You are an eternal creator. But it's about the being in here in this now moment and feeling the good energy, the fun, the joy, the resonation, the resonance with source energy, the lighting upness of your desire. That's what it's about. It's not about where anything pans out, because right here is your point of attraction, not later. And because we know when it's more about the feeling, when it's more about the lighting up, when you're taking more score of the, how much did I light up today? How much did this desire light me up? How much fun was it to think about and to dream about? When that's your measurement of success, then you're not really taking score of reality. Then you have that, you're in that receiving mode for longer, because we're trying to get you to be in that receiving mode for longer, because we know that when you get into the vortex, do you know what happens? Now, because we covered that, now we understand we're whole, we're complete, we have alignment. There's nothing outside of us. There's no manifestation that we're just so yearning for that we don't have right now, that we can't live without, because the absence feels so bad. And since the absence feels so bad, we can't feel good until we have it. But you understand that, no, I feel good now, so that means I'm a match to this vortex now. But I'm not a match to this vortex version. I'm not a match to the vortex to get what I want, because I think that in me applying my understanding of the law of attraction and the vortex, that this will all come to me. No, I know that it's coming to me. But now that I took the time to go general and find that centered place, and now that I'm a match to the vortex, now everything that's a match to me, everything that is in my vortex, everything that's perfectly made for me will flow into my life. Everything, not just this one subject, everything. Because when you're just thinking about this one subject, when you're thinking doggedly about one subject, and that one subject is not working, then as a result of you thinking about that one subject that's not working, now all the subjects of your life are not working, because that's how tuning your frequency works. So when you're in those high-flying places, what do you do? What do you do when you're in the vortex? Because you understand, the vortex is easy to get to. It's not a college degree. It's not hard. You don't even have to change anything about your life. You don't have to change your diet, your lifestyle. It's just about your thoughts. Does this thought resonate with my source, or is it off? And if it's off, then I'm going to go and find another thought. And as I find more and more thoughts, like, okay, this sky is really nice, this tree is really nice, this daydream is really nice, this is really nice, this is really nice. As you look more for the feeling of the thought versus how objective it is, then now you understand getting to the vortex is mad easy, because you understand there are these 2 points of relativity. It doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. Their opinions don't matter, because they are not my emotional guidance system. I cannot allow you to be my emotional guidance system, because you don't have accurate information about me. You don't really know who I am. You don't know what's in my vortex. You don't have that foresight. No one does, because no one's in the vortex long enough. But once you understand this vortex, then you're there. What's your job? See, when you get into the vortex and you know, because you're like, oh, I'm there, you just feel that frisky, alive, clicking into place feeling, then that's your sign, or that's your guidance system telling you you're now in the vortex, you are now home. But the thing about the vortex is that you give up a lot to go into the vortex. You give up complaining, you give up fighting, you give up anger, you give up blaming people, you give up frustration, because there's not, all that stuff doesn't exist in the vortex. And this is the best way to say it, you don't have access to those type of thoughts. That's the best way we've ever said it. When you're in the vortex, you don't have access to a lot of different type of thoughts. So it's not like you give something up, it's just that you don't have access to it, because they're not in your vibrational proximity. So while you're in that vortex, what is your vibrational proximity? Now is the time to receive. When you're in the vortex, now is the time to listen to a thought, and you learn how to receive a thought versus think a thought in meditation. So as your job now in meditation, yes, but also in the vortex, is to now receive a thought. Then now you understand. And now you understand that your inner being has already gathered up all of your momentum. It has gathered up so much momentum on your behalf that's so non-resistant. So you don't have to be the one that goes out there and makes things happen, because you understand now that you're in the vortex. You get, hey, I'm not the efforter, I'm not the actioner, I'm not even the doer of anything. I'm just a chiller. I just chill here. I just sit here. I'm the pointer. Because here's the thing, it's like this fast, very fast merry-go-round. Your inner being, and as a result of your inner being's non-resistant focus, that merry-go-round is going so fast, and all you have to do is just hop on in the right moment, and that's what timing is. Law of attraction is the master of timing, the master of go on this walk right now, because you're in the vortex. Here's the impulse. Go on a walk. Here's money here. Here's money there. Here's a phone that you've been wanting for so long, and it's unlocked, and it's in perfect condition. The impulses are the best part ever. But the thing is, you have to accept that the universe has already watched your movie. Your inner being has already become who you really want to be. Your inner being is there with all of your fortune. It's there. And so your inner being knows where everything that you want is, and it knows how to get you there along the path of least resistance, which means the path of most allowance, which means your inner being will guide you around, will coach you basically through or around all of your tough spots, all of your resistance spots. So you don't have to change anything. You just have to get into the vortex. And the best part of being in the vortex is that you run the risk of being bored, because the vortex is general, it's fun, but you're the one who brings in the specifics. You're the one who brings in the passion. So when you're in the vortex, when you feel like, yeah, I'm in the vortex, I feel good, but I'm bored, when that's how you feel, then that's the time to crank up the juice. That's the time to get specific, because you didn't come here to just stay in the vortex and just be like, oh yeah, this sky is nice. You came here to be like, this sky is nice, I feel connected, I want money, and this money's gonna feel like the sky, and it's abundant, and it's so clear, and I love it, and I just love money. That's what you came here for. You came for those specific conversations. But we're just saying, you don't need to let go of the desire. You don't even need to let go of the dream. You don't need to get connected. And now when you get connected, now you're going to be seeing all of this through the eyes of source. Now you're going to see life through the eyes of source. Now the personality that you know as just you is going to become more, because that's what the vortex is. The vortex is you joining with your inner being, and you're one in this now moment. So now when you're on stage, now when you're writing your books, now when you're making your YouTube videos, now when you're singing, now when you're doing anything, whether it's going to the grocery stores, people are going to look at you. They're going to be like, this person is something different. They're going to see something in you that they see, because they're in alignment themselves. But it's like, you're just a clear example of who source energy is, because we're all source energy. We are all extensions of source energy. And it really takes a clear and concise life experience, because we can just say all these words and we just sound like someone who knows what they're saying, but ultimately you will live your own life experience, and you will be like, okay, that all makes sense. Because here's the thing, when you're in the vortex, the conversation is never about insecurity. The conversation is, I'm getting all these ideas, and what should I act on them or not? That's the question. I'm getting all these really good downloads. Should I act on them? And we're just saying, don't make it about the action. Never make it about the action, because when you're making about the action, now you're taking score. And then you taking score, you're not making the goal. You're not making the prize be the lighting up, the resonance, the fun, the joy. Because when it's the resonance, when it's the fun, when it's, yeah, I've been having a lot of fun and I've just been really enjoying myself, then everything takes care of itself. Because we're telling you, your inner being is, you have to trust that your inner being has watched your movie and knows, because your inner being has already lived. Your inner being rode the rocket when you wanted it. The second you wanted it, your inner being became the vibrational equivalent. So your inner being, those emotions that your inner beings are giving you, those clues, basically what we're saying is, you just have to accept that getting to the vortex is your work. And as you get into the vortex, and as you don't make things happen, because now you understand there's nowhere that you need to go, because you're not yearning, you're not bleeding, you're just chilling, you're already whole. So now when you think about your desires, now when you're in the vortex and you get specific, it's just for fun. It's just because I'm bored, let me speed up energy, and when it gets overwhelming, I'll just go back to going general. then you understand, then you are the creator, because you're what you really are is a master of time now. Timing is everything. And so the best way to sum it all up, and the best way for you to really understand it, which is so fun and it's so amazing to understand the law of attraction, is just that you are the creator. You have this point of attraction, but this point of attraction is really, or maybe and this point of attraction is really about your 2 points of relativity, you and your body right now, which where all the resistance comes from, and you in your non-physical body, your inner being, your soul, the God version of you, the vibrational expanded version of you. And so your emotions are about how these 2 points of relativity are reacting to each other. They're meshing, they're blending, or they're not. So we're saying you gotta blend, you gotta become source energy. And when you're a source energy, you will know it, because you will be in the vortex and you will feel the vortex. And then everything that your inner being has gathered up for you, it will now be in your mind too. You're gonna be in on it. You're gonna be in on the creation, because now you're not efforting. Now you're not the vehicle. Now you're not the engine. Now you're just pointing. Now you're just, okay, universe, I want this, I want this, I want this. And you open up the vortex and you get so many ideas. And we're just saying, in getting all these ideas, still make it about, it's just about how much it lights me up. It's not about panning out, because we want you to look at the universe and be like, hey universe, I have all of eternity to wait. I have all of eternity. You can bring me the desire whenever I want, because I know that this desire, all I want, this desire, all I really want is for this desire to feel good. And since I feel good now, I'm matched to this desire, and I know that I just open the vortex and everything that is a match to me will come to me. But it's more about what comes to me. It's about the lighting up. It's about the joy. It's about the daydreaming. It's about wanting something and knowing that I can have it, and knowing that I don't need it right now because I'm already full, but I'm already whole. But just that it would be so nice to have. It's a what if game. And so, friends, you're all doing so amazing. It's not that you're all doing so amazing in the physical sense, but you're all clicking in. You're all understanding. You're all caring more about how you feel, and it's really all about that. It's about caring about how you feel. It's about caring so much about how you feel that at the early stages of a thought not feeling good, you stop it.